Hello, everyone. Hi.
Hello.
Hi. Welcome to a different kind of stream. Well, it's not different. It's just late. It's much later than it usually is when I stream on Wednesdays. Hello. I'm Maria. I'm the person who's always here. But I have a very special guest. If you couldn't tell, they're over there because I can't. It's them. Look, it's Meghan. Have you seen?
It's me.
Have you heard of Meghan? Meghan has an entire command on this channel. Meghan makes games. Meghan makes ttrpgs. And today we are celebrating and showcasing a brand new game that Meghan just started a Kickstarter for. And I'm so excited. Which, by the way, we're going to be talking about the game. And then we're going to be playing Sanctuary, which is a brand new game. If you've been on the channel before, I've played Sentinel before. I played it towards the middle of last month. I don't remember when exactly it was, but I did play Sentinel. And it was delightful. But now it's more. Now there's more. So that's why we're here. We're here to play Sanctuary. And y'all can go check out the Kickstarter. It's live right now. As of the last time I checked, it was almost halfway funded, and it launched today. So you got 29 days to make this thing just blow up, everybody. So do it.
That'd be pretty cool, I guess.
That'd be pretty neat. Armstrong says,
Go do it. Go do it.
You gotta listen. You gotta listen to him.
You gotta listen to him. Look at him.
Look at him with all of his
Just
gold
look at him.
beans.
He has so many beans. Are you gonna leave, sir? Yep, it's time
Perhaps.
to go. Or not. He's just gonna stay here. So Meghan, if someone has never seen you or your games before, why don't you tell the fine folks who are here or who are watching elsewhere, who you are, what kind of things you do, and talk about some of your games. Don't mind this, everyone. This is for later.
That's a secret camera. That's a surprise camera. That we'll use later. Okay, hi. I'm Meghan. For those who don't know me, and for those who do as well. Hello. I am meghanlynnFTW most places on the internet. I do I am a ttrpg designer and streamer and podcaster and overall ttrpg obsessed individual. And I write games. I design games that I don't like saying that I design games to make people sad.
No, but it's the truth.
That's never my intention, but I do design games to make people sad. I design games to make people feel things. I specialize, quote unquote, in GM-less short form, narrative-driven games, in solo games, and just games to explore characters and character dynamics and tell a story and feel big emotions. I'm trying to think. I
almost panicked because I was like, I have your games. Where are they? They were under my other stuff. Oh, this is Sentinel, by the way. This was a first printing of Sentinel.
Yes.
I have it. I don't know if you can get physical copies of it anymore, but I do. So there.
Yeah, not.
Also,
don't
mind me.
I have more copies of that version of Sentinel, but Sentinel is getting a facelift with this Kickstarter, so stand by for that because
so as you can tell, like compare this cover to this graphic.
The graphic
Look
done
at
by the incredible Mac, who I did see pop up into chat. Hi, Mac.
Good. But also
the amazing Mac.
This game right here, this is you can't read it. It's One Particular Harbor is gorgeous, and I do need to play this as well. But look how pretty this is. It's just
We should play so we can be pirates who smooch. I also write games so that people can facilitate smooching.
Consensual smooching in games. Let's go.
Consensual smooching. So yeah, I'm trying to think. Yeah, I write. I write Plagiumless games. I like mermaids and I like space. So a lot of my games deal with either mermaids or space. There's Mac.
Hello, welcome.
DW guard down below.
Shoop, you did. You came just in time.
So yeah. I'm trying.
Okay, here we go. Question time. Question time. When did you? Okay, wait, no, stop. Hold everything, everyone. I did an interview with Meghan back last year as part of Nightcap season 2. If you want to see a huge we didn't talk a whole lot about this. We talked a lot about our ttrpg characters that smooched. And also creating characters and all that sort of stuff. So if you want to watch that, please go check out the YouTube channel of mine specifically.
It was
Yes, sir.
an absolutely unhinged, just
it was
feral shouting, and it was marvelous.
We were screaming about our characters that we love, and it was just very, very good. But here, new questions. When did you start writing ttrpgs?
Oh, relatively recently, I guess, all things considered. So my first TTRPG that I wrote was Session 0, and that was June of 2019.
Okay.
So 4 years this. Jesus.
Woof.
What is time?
I don't like that.
Yeah, so
my bones hurt now.
So since 2019, like mid 2019 was when I first started. Sentinel was published in August of 2020, and I've been working on Sanctuary for like the past year and a half. Yeah.
Delightful. And then this one was last year, right? Our particular harbor?
Yeah, so I crowdfunded OPH. Yes, that was for Zine Month last year. That originally came out, I had published it the year before, like January 2020. And then crowdfunded for a beautiful new layout that Ray Najati did for me, because he's amazing and does wonderful things. And then Anna Landon did the cover, which is so pretty.
It's so good. And then you did the words, which are so
and
pretty.
Then I did the words, which
not. I have been, so I was for all of you listeners and watchers, I was a fan of Meghan before I met Meghan. I had heard about your games when I first started in the TTRPG space, which was roughly mid to late 2019. Well, I got the rough time. I don't remember time, but it was in 2019. It was sometime around then, and I don't remember. I think Session 0 was the one that I was like, oh, that's a really cool concept. But I do think that Sentinel was one of the first games that I knew about with you, and I got it. I've had the PDF for years, for actual years. Never played it. I forgot that you wrote it. But it was when I played your Hades one, The Long Way Down.
Yeah.
That I was like, wait, hang on. Wait, who is this person? Turns out, she's great. Is a fantastic role player. Our characters have smooched, but not on screen.
Mm-hmm.
It's been off screen. So Meghan is fantastic, and if you have the ability to do so, please go buy her games. Go play her games, and then scream about them and tell her how great they are, because she deserves to hear how great they are.
Please, it makes me very emotional. But I always love to hear about it. Yeah, I think you were one of the first, if not the first person to like stream one of my games. So I remember like coming into your stream being like, this is happening.
Wait,
like
this is mine.
Like a person is playing a game that I wrote.
Mm-hmm. It was really cool because it involved that was one that involved like the block guitar, right? The guitar, yeah. That trying to figure out how to stream that was also very interesting. My cameras weren't working right, and I'm like, well, we're gonna figure it out. But very cool games, very cool person. So it's a win-win. It's a win-win. But talk about the game, and therefore the games that we're showcasing tonight, and what we're gonna be playing. What are we gonna be playing?
So we're gonna be playing Sanctuary, which is a brand new, I'd say never before seen, but I literally show it to anybody at the first opportunity. I'm like, do you want to see this? Like,
never before played.
Never before played on stream. This is the first stream game. I can confidently say I've played this game more than I've played any other game that I've written. I've been playing it a lot. And I still like playing it, so I think that's a good sign. But Sanctuary, so Sanctuary is I've been calling it a companion game. It's a companion game for Sentinel. It functions as a prequel to Sentinel, so Sanctuary ends right where Sentinel begins, with the Lone Guardian in the Sanctuary after a big battle is done.
It's gonna make me sad.
Yes.
Great. Good.
Yes.
Get popcorn. Prepare your tissues, everyone.
It's a game written by me.
Therefore,
it has a sad ending. I will say in the PDF, there's a note right up front that's like, "Hey, you're about to play this game. This game has a sad ending."
It's just
because player safety is important, so it's important to know that this game does have a sad ending, and you got to keep yourself safe. So Sanctuary is a game. It's a game. It is a world-building storytelling game about a place of great power, the Sanctuary, the guardians that are protecting it, and the threat that they are fighting against. So it's played in two pretty distinct parts. The first half is the world building, map making element, and then the second half is playing out this battle between the guardians and the threat, leading up to their final confrontation. I just see this little head poking up behind you.
He's a menace tonight.
So yeah, it's weird. I wrote it to be a companion to Sentinel, so it's very similar in tone, and it's similar like mechanically, but it's different in the way that where in Sentinel it's very personal, in introspective. Sanctuary is a little more zoomed out. So like in Sentinel, like I've been saying, like Sentinel, the Guardian is the main character of Sentinel, whereas in Sanctuary, the main character of Sanctuary is the Sanctuary itself. And as players, we're really looking at things in a broader sense. We're looking at like the Guardians as a collective, we're looking at the threat as a collective, and we're looking at the Sanctuary as this place that is really the focus of all of the action. So it's different in tone in that way, that it's less personal, it's less like zoomed in, and it's more capturing like broad sweeping actions and emotions, which I think is kind of cool, especially if you do choose to play them as a pair, because then you go into Sentinel knowing everything that happened in Sanctuary, and you're able to kind of approach the events of your Sanctuary game with that more personal look. Yeah, because you're like, oh well, I know
you
broadly
basically
this
made
happened.
you basically made a backstory already.
Yeah.
For who you're playing.
So you're able to, so you're able to like so you can take the prompts and focus them a little bit more and saying like, oh, I want to talk about this particular thing that happened in Sanctuary that I know what happened on a grand scale, but what did it look like for this one person?
And that's the one of the biggest mechanical differences between them is that Sanctuary is a multi-person game. So I think you said it was 2 to 4 people-ish. Multiple people.
Multiple people. You could also play it by yourself. It's just Sanctuary's she's a big girl. So if you played it by yourself, it would just take a while, but you could easily break it up into chunks. So you could play it by yourself. It's just, I think that the way that Sanctuary is designed mechanically, it lends itself more to collaborative gameplay, which I like. I write a lot of solo games, but I wanted to write something that's more geared towards like collaborative storytelling.
I'm so excited. This large lad does not know what to do with himself. Well, I guess he's here now.
Oh.
There he is. All right. Well, you get cat butt today, everyone, for a brief period of time until I tell him to leave. I'm a really big fan of solo TTRPGs, especially when I just want to do. I have the want to play, but I don't necessarily have the desire to try to find like a group of people to play. But I have that creative bug, and I'm like, I need to do a thing. I need to make a thing and do a thing. And solo TTRPGs, like journaling TTRPGs especially, are super, super great for not only like making don't eat that. Not only making a character like a fleshed out concept, maybe for a different game, but to like, if you're a person who likes creative writing, soloing TTRPGs are one of the best ways to just practice and get some of those like juices flowing, I feel like. Without having to be in that mindset of, oh, I have to make this huge, I have to make a thing from start to finish. The game gives you a start and a finish, so you will you'll make a thing. You just don't have to make the whole thing.
And one of the best compliments I ever received was like it was shortly after I first published Sentinel, but somebody was like, I have had writer's block for so long, and I picked up Sentinel and I wrote 6,000 words playing this game and annihilated my writer's block. And I think that's something that is so great about solo TTRPGs, is that like they give you enough guidance that you don't need to come up with everything on your own. You can just expand upon what you're given. And you can tell a super cool story that is just yours. Just
I think I still have the Long Way Down poem, basically sonnet.
Your epic.
Yeah, my written epic. I think I still have it somewhere. It's lovely, and I have Sentinel. It's on my drive. It's not going anywhere. But yeah, it's super great. If y'all don't like, if you've never tried it, I would recommend trying it. Whether it's one of Meghan's games, which it should be also all of Meghan's games, but there's some other great ones too. There's 1,000 Year Vampire. There is, what are some other ones?
Let me find the link. There's actually, so another one of my games.
Yes, Nim, yes. Long Way Down is so good. So look at this boy. What are you doing? It's so good.
Oh.
Hello, sweetheart.
Yeah. Naimir was one of my playtesters for The Long Way Down, and wrote beautiful, beautiful poetry that I got to read. But let me get a link real quick. Yeah, one of my games, Weeds in the Waste, which is a solo ttrpg.
I need to play that one so badly.
About tending a garden in a post-apocalyptic wasteland that uses tic-tac-toe as a mechanic.
I love this.
Is in a bundle, so let me see if it'll let me. Oh, okay, cool. It will let me post the link.
Of course you will.
So this link is to a bundle, Solo Not Alone 3, which is a charity bundle benefiting Jasper's Game Day, and it is like, let me see, it's 149 games that are all solo TTRPGs.
That's so cool.
That you can get for a minimum donation of $10. 149 solo games. If there is a solo game for you,
it'll be in there.
It's probably going to be in that bundle, and it benefits a wonderful charity to help to help with suicide prevention and mental health awareness, which is something that's very, very close to my heart. So I am very happy to have a game in the bundle. There's so many really, really amazing games in there. So if you've ever wondered about solo TTRPGs, this is the perfect time to check them out, because for $10 you can get 150 of them and just kind of poke through and see what's there, because they really come in every flavor, every different
not
tones,
all of them are sad feels.
Yeah.
But just
like,
you know.
Yeah, like different tones, different themes, different everything. So it's definitely worth checking out if it's something that you think you might be interested in.
I wrote one I would loosely call it a game. It's more of just like I guess okay, it doesn't have any mechanics.
Everything is a game.
It's like I like to call it like a meditative experience. Called it was part of a Magnus Archives thing. And it was called Alone But Not Forgotten, which is like that's what that bundle reminded me of that. Because we took, if you don't know, the Magnus Archives is very horror driven. We each took an entity and then made a game based off of it, and then we all inadvertently made them like positive in like the outcome of like not necessarily like happiness, but you know, a positive leaning side to a horrible kind of thing. So mine dealt with loneliness. Did
you know that I wrote a homebrew warlock patron inspired by the Magnus Archives?
No, I did not.
Yeah, I'll have to find the link. It's like any D&D stuff I've written is like buried. But yeah, Fear itself as a warlock patron. Pretty cool. Not to toot my own horn, but No,
there's nothing to fear except fear itself.
Yeah, but ritual games are a whole subset of games too, and that's what that sounds like. Like I know a friend of mine, Liz, EMGOSA on Twitter has written several ritual games that are more of like a meditative experience, more so than just like a sit down pen and paper TTRPG. It's a combination of, it's like the middle of a Venn diagram between a TTRPG and a LARP. Yeah. Because there's a physical real life element to it in addition to
instead of just like, at least for mine calls on you, the person, to experience things within safety, of course, but to like do a lot, like visualization and stuff like that was pretty big in it. But it was like it was the first time I had written a game, and it's really great.
Writing games is really cool.
It's very cool.
It's really cool. And you never think you can do it until you've done it, and then you're like, oh, I guess I can.
That was it?
You're like, oh, this thing didn't exist and now it does because of me.
And then other people make stuff based on the stuff that you make. And then you're like, oh.
And then you go take some deep breaths and have a quick cry and just be like, thank you.
Kickstarter. And then you make a Kickstarter. And people support the heck out of it. And it's really, really great.
Yeah, and then you cry multiple times, including sitting at a table at lunch with your spouse.
Yep.
Fine. Y'all. I guess I'm just happy that the TTRPG space enjoys making me cry, because it's always like, if this happens, I'm definitely gonna cry, and then everyone's like, done. Cool.
Well, here's the thing. It's just comeuppance, because you make people cry with your TTRPGs, so of course we're gonna make you cry by supporting you making us cry, because who doesn't love a good cry with their TTRPG?
I mean,
like,
I do love
a good sad feel.
I do love a good cry. Yeah, like crying in big emotions in a safe, consenting environment.
Yes,
it's very good.
It's very good.
Very good.
It's very nice.
I'm a fan.
Speaking of crying in a very good, safe environment, would you like to play a game with me?
Oh, well, I mean,
since you're here,
sure.
And I'm here.
I mean, like, I'm here, so I mean, yeah. Like, do you have a game in mind?
I have this really cool one called Sanctuary. It's not out yet, but there's a really cool Kickstarter for it right now that's almost halfway funded.
Okay.
Cool. Excellent. Well, I'm gonna kind of like, because I don't Meghan sent me the file for it like a month and a half ago. Haven't read it. I know I need cards, and I have those. Ta-da, we got fancy cards. So I'm going to let you kind of explain it, and we'll just kind of figure it out.
Yeah. I'm a little familiar with the rules, so I think I should be able to walk us through it.
Okay, that's good. I'm glad one of us is.
Mildly familiar with how this game works. Just because I've been playing it a lot, not because I wrote it or anything, but
yeah. We love first
experience. So, and also because this is kind of like a stream where I want everybody to see what the game's about, I'm probably talk through it a little more in depth than usual, just so we can. It's mechanically, it's very simple. Anybody who's played my games knows that most of my games are mechanically pretty easy to grasp. because I'm not great at writing mechanics, and I don't like a lot of crunchy games. Like on the scale, the peanut butter scale of TTRPGs from crunchy to creamy, like I just want
peanut butter.
Creamy.
I just want it.
I just want no chunks, just very smooth.
I've never heard of the TTRPG community and like mechanical community as peanut butter, and now it's the only thing I'm gonna think about.
Peanut butter.
It's just
crunchy to creamy.
Butter.
I want very creamy peanut butter. And I'm a selfish game designer who designs games for myself, and it just so happens other people like them too, which is great. So I design creamy games because those are the games I like to play. Love a creamy game. Don't take that out of context.
Or do. I dare you.
Or do, I guess. I'm not your mom. Do what you want.
Quote me
life.
at Happy Capster. I love a creamy game.
I love a creamy game. So Sanctuary is played with a deck of cards and a single D6. Maria has a deck of cards. I have the D6. We're splitting responsibilities.
We're doing it like adults. We're collaborating.
We're doing it, Peter. So Sanctuary, so Sanctuary is the story of a place of great power that needs to be protected. It's about the guardians that are protecting it and the threat that they are fighting. It is played in two main phases, a world building phase and an active what I call the confrontations phase, all culminating in a last stand that will end with only a single entity surviving.
One of us is gonna die, everyone.
And they are the lone guardian of Sentinel.
Oh God.
So I will just read because it is important. I mentioned it before. Note about safety. Safety in games is very, very important. Use safety tools. Check in with yourself. So it says Sanctuary is a game that deals heavily with conflict, loss, and death with the advanced knowledge that the game will end in defeat. When playing solo, be sure to check in with yourself and ensure that you feel comfortable to continue. Take breaks when necessary or end the game prematurely if you need to. If you're playing Sanctuary with a group, the use of safety tools is strongly encouraged. At the end of the day, this is a game, and your well-being and comfort is far more important. So, we will be checking in with each other if things get a little heavy. Take care of yourself. It's a game. It's gonna be sad. It's a game that I designed. It's gonna be sad. We're gonna rock and roll. So to start, I should have told you this before. We're gonna need to separate the suits.
You know what's great is that this is a brand new deck of cards, and they're all except for the
bingo bango. All right, so for this stage of the game, we will need just the diamonds.
Just the diamonds, okay.
For the second stage of the game, we will need the hearts and the spades shuffled together. Clubs, no clubs needed.
We don't clubs?
No clubs.
Okay. That's okay.
Not going clubbing.
We're not going clubbing. Okay, so hearts and spades are shuffled together.
Yes.
All right. Well, I'll prep that. Also, I love this set of... It's just so pretty. It's so shiny. I don't know where we... I think we got it as a Christmas present.
I'll show you. They look kind of like... So I have these cards. I have to mail them to the person who won my giveaway. But I had gotten these for the giveaway that I ran to celebrate the Kickstarter.
Oh my god. They're super pretty.
They're very pretty. I like them a lot. While you shuffle those together, I'm gonna go bio real quick.
Yes.
Before we get started, if that is okay.
Please do so.
So I will be.
Chat.
Yeah, I will be back in 2 shakes.
2 shakes. Shake them so good. Hey chat, how you doing? How's it been? You know what? Because we'll go over here. We'll go over here for now. Oh no, we won't. Wait, I've ruined everything. You can see nothing. I'm not even here. Where am I? Who am I? I lied. I'm back. Hello, everyone. I was gonna be cool and be over on a different screen, but we'll just stay here. How has everyone's week been going? Megan's not here, and Megan can't hear me. Well, Megan might be able to hear me, but it's my goal by the end of this stream to make Megan cry. So what would be super fantastic is if you all shared the link to the Kickstarter on Twitter, on socials, on whatever social media platform, whatever social media platform you use. You can share the going live tweet that I have, or you can just share the Kickstarter. I would love to see if we can get Megan's Kickstarter funded by the end of today. Day 1. That would be the most incredible thing. Oh! From the sun, she emerges.
Oh my god, the lighting. The lighting.
We're all in the bit. Did you hear us? Did you hear me?
No.
Oh, good. Great. Good. Excellent. Great. No one needs. Great. Everyone knows. Everyone knows. Yeah, Kane. Yeah, Kane. Let's go.
I smell collusion.
No, nothing happened. You can't prove anything. You can't rewind the stream and figure out what in the world I said.
It's not like
I assume
it's not like I heard my
shuffled,
spouse.
right?
Yes. It's not like I heard my spouse chuckle and I go, "What are they doing?" And he goes, "Don't worry about it."
Don't even worry about it. Don't even. Nothing. Hi,
Becca.
Listen. Becca's here, and now we're causing chaos. And Kane just got here, so like that's what it was. It's just.
Oh, we're just
exciting.
all
Yeah. And what Guard said in chat is true. Regardless, we are all in the business of making Megan cry lovingly.
I mean,
it's just.
I know this to be true. As someone who historically is horrific at receiving compliments.
Great.
Yeah. It is well known that I'm a crier. I'm a soft bitch.
Yes. Let's go. It's the soft bitch era, everyone. Let's go. So we have our diamonds there shuffled here. This is our shuffled and prepared next time thing.
Beautiful. So what we are going to do is we're going to make our map. We're going to make a map using our cards because I am not artistically inclined like some of us here. And I can't draw, but I want to make maps. So I'm like, how can I make maps without drawing? Because I'm currently working on another game that, God, a million years later is finally ready to like be laid out. And there is a map. Yes, and there is a map involved that I made on like a map making program, and even that was very difficult. I'm like, respect to cartographers, because holy crap, it is hard to make maps.
It's tricky, yeah.
It's like populating a map. Like once I got like my basic like outline down, I'm like, oh, this looks cool. I'm like, I have to fill this thing.
Yep.
With
stuff and make it look good and not cluttered and not too empty. Yep. It's just a lot. It's so much.
Yeah, it's a lot. So I'm happy with what I came up with, but it took me literally like 4 days. So we are going to make a map with cards. As you can see in the PDF with my sample maps. That's what we're going to do. So we're going to do, let's go with like 5 based on looking at what time it is. So 5 cards. So put 5 cards face down.
Face down. I just looked
face down.
Okay, face down. Okay.
In a configuration that makes you happy.
Okay. I assume these are going to be buildings or just general locations?
Yes, they are locations. Not necessarily buildings, but I know that we had talked briefly about this sanctuary being a space station.
We're gonna be in space every
We're gonna be in a space station. So
because the only thing that Megan and I have played together is 2 space lesbians. So we're not playing that.
Space, gonna go to space.
Space. We're going to space.
So I'm thinking something more akin to sample map A, like where the where it's connected,
they're
because like
connected,
we're
yeah.
in a space
Yeah.
station.
Got
But you
it,
can
got it,
put
got it,
them
got
in
it.
whatever configuration. But yeah, face down
Alright.
to start.
So let's do. Whoop. They're slippery.
Oh God. Hi, Ethan.
Ethan's here. Hello. Is this connected enough? This is to imply that there's two off to the side.
Yeah, or you can make it like a T.
Well, that's true. I could do
No,
a T.
it doesn't. Yeah, that's fine.
Because these two aren't.
We can say
connected.
that. Yeah,
This
we can
one
say that
is.
they're connected. Oh, perfect. Yeah.
That's what I was.
Yeah.
Oh God, they're so slippery.
They're so slidey.
They're so slidey. Okay, that's 3.
Mm-hmm.
And then 4. And then
Okay.
I'm gonna move it down. Don't worry, we're gonna move it down. I gotta play. We gotta play for the camera, not for my perception of reality. All right, that's good enough.
I don't do anything for my own perception of reality.
Yikes. Okay.
Cool. Okay. Cool. All right. So
Oops.
this is our map. This is what our sanctuary looks like.
It's us.
So what we are going to do is one card at a time. We're going to flip them over. We're going to look at the prompt list. Each card has a prompt defining what that area of the sanctuary is. It also has a question about either the guardians or the threat that we will establish. And then a lot of stuff with the guardians and the threat can also come out more in play, but we're getting some like base details established while we are doing the broader details of our sanctuary. So you can pick whatever card you want to pick first and flip it over, and I will read our prompt and we can see what it is.
I'm gonna start just right here in the middle. The ace.
Ooh, interesting. It's very interesting it being in the middle because the prompt is a hidden place known only to some. What kind of place is this and how is it hidden? What aspect of the sanctuary's power is concentrated here? Who was the first to find this place and how did they discover it?
Oh. Oh.
We don't have to answer all of the questions. Those are kind of just like,
Right.
I mean, if you are playing it and you would like to answer all of the questions, you can answer as many or as little as you want. This is just to get the gears rolling.
Right. We love helpful prompts.
Yeah, my first thought is like some kind of ventilation shaft, like some like rafters type thing.
I was thinking something similar to that of a panel that looks just like every other panel, but you can open it and it's like it is basically an unused ventilation shaft that leads to like a room that is not on any blueprints or like a space of some kind that is I mean, we can figure out what it's used for, but
yeah, I like that. Like, yeah, like, is it just... So now I had two ideas. That either it's just like a defunct, derelict area of the space station.
Space.
Yeah, but my other thought is like maybe there's something there that like needed to be hidden. Maybe there's like override codes or like some kind of like
an important
self-destruct
hidden thing
button
that people
or
forgot
something
about, maybe?
Yeah, like, or like the person who like designed the space station, maybe it's like a fail-safe room or something like that. Like if everything goes to shit, you can go in here and like shut down the computer systems. Like you could shut down your life support. You could do like this is like the in case of emergency break glass room.
Yeah.
But only like the person who designed the space station knows that it's there, so like somebody maybe stumbled upon it. That it's like a, yeah, like Ethan said, like a hidden nexus, like, yeah, some kind of like the secret brain.
Yeah, I like that. I'm literally writing down secret brain.
Secret brain.
Secret brain.
All my best thoughts come from my secret brain.
Yes, that's so hard to find him. Because
it's so hard to find my
brain and just mother brain. Yikes!
My regular brain just wants to drink Red Bull and eat hot tamales. My secret brain is where all the good ideas come from.
Your secret brain is where Sanctuary was hidden.
Yes, Sanctuary. That's why it took me almost 2 years to write it, because the secret brain is a little shy. Exactly.
We'll learn more about that later.
Brain that can help us later.
Yeah.
If we wanted to design games. Cool. All right. We're already off to creating a place that we really don't want to get messed up.
Yeah. We don't want it to be actually forgotten. But like I do imagine it because it's something like I imagine that this station has been around for a while. And it was forgotten for a while. So like the space itself, the like mechanisms and stuff, they're still fine. But the space itself is like, you know, if the hallway is like mostly pristine and like in good condition, you open up this panel and it's like, oh God, like there's not necessarily like cobwebs or whatever, but there's dust and detritus of some kind of nature. There's like, you know, maybe water or some kind of liquid got in here at some point, and it just kind of looks and feels abandoned, you know, abandon all hope, ye who enter here, etc., etc.
I'm into it.
Gross.
Yeah, like if you open up the secret door and like take a couple steps in, you're like, oh, this is nothing, and then if you keep going, then you're like, oh no, it actually is something. Yeah. But most people don't keep going.
Yay! I'm already scared about how sad.
Definitely not filling my dice tray with hot tamales to snack on while we play.
All right, let's go way over here.
You think I'm doing that, you're mistaken.
Yeah, a vent duct that no one's cleaned out in a galactic century. Exactly, exactly. Maybe like a little bit bigger. Like you could like a roughly 5-foot humanoid person could stand up in it and be moderately comfortable. But not too much. Okay. Not too big. It's a 10.
Oh wait, we have to answer another question.
Ignore everything, everyone. I forgot. My brain read the first section and then was like, that's it. Hang on, everyone.
Hang on. All
Hold
right.
on.
And now we answer about either the Guardians or the threat. Or if we want to do both, we can do both too. I don't care. What do they look like? I immediately have an idea.
Oh, please.
That I'm going to steal from my own Masks campaign. What if the threat is like a swarm of like nano robots?
I wrote threat as treat, and I just want everyone to like it's the treat.
The treat.
The treats.
Hot tamales. The only treat I need.
Nano.
Yeah, like
baddies.
Yeah, like maybe there's something controlling them all, but my mind immediately went to like just like a swarm of tiny robots, like almost like in Big Hero 6. Oh yeah.
We went 2 different ways. I went Stargate. You said Disney.
I feel like that pretty succinctly sums up. Yeah, just something that's just like a giant cloud of
tiny robots that can go into small secret ducts. You are correct, Ethan.
Yes.
I love it and hate it at the same time.
Oh man. And what if they can like take like larger form, like they can all kind of like if they wanted to walk around shaped like a person, they could morph into
It is
a
a
person.
replicators. Yes.
I've never seen Stargate.
Oh my
Alright,
god. You've described the replicators. They're
I'm Googling.
they're
Oh,
a menace. Yeah.
that's scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like that.
Yeah. They're a menace. Excellent. Great.
Yeah,
Great.
we're here to have a good time.
Microbot bees who can Lego together. Yep.
Yep. Horrifying. Perfect. Love it. All right.
Great. Now I'll flip this card over that no one knows what it is. Oh my gosh,
Now I'll
it's
hydrate.
the 10 of diamonds. Wow.
What?
I'll read it while you hydrate.
Okay.
A place to keep what is considered valuable safe. What makes this place an ideal spot for safeguarding valuables? What is the most valuable thing ever kept here? How does a sanctuary's power ensure what needs to be kept safe is protected?
Ooh.
Place to keep what is considered valuable. Okay, so immediately I don't want it to be an item because I like to think more esoterically. It can be an item, but I don't want it to be an item because then it just defines what we think is important, and what we want to keep safe isn't an item. It could be anything.
Right. Yes, it's a space station, but yes, we are in space.
Yeah. Of course we're in space. Ethan, you know us? Of course it's in space.
Which makes me think, like, is that where, like, the ship's life support is kept? Or is it something more?
I think it's...
I'm making a lot of weird gesticulations tonight.
Listen, that's most of my thought comes through moving about in strange and unusual ways. So, I feel like it. It could definitely be life support because I think just like by default. What, sir? What do you think it should be?
I had an idea.
Uh-huh.
Ooh, I like Ethan's idea of cryopods, but my other idea was, what if this space station, like the inhabitants of this space station, like are inhabitants that came from like a planet that died? So what's kept in here is like the history of that planet, like remnants of the planet. And it's like the only thing left of their home, and now they're living in space.
Yes, the archives. The Planet Museum that I definitely didn't read as Plant Museum.
I definitely read it as Plant Museum.
Yay!
I mean, there could be plants in there.
There could be. There could be. Yeah, you're right. You're right. All right. A history of a world.
So like part one.
Part one that died. Okay.
So I think because we said plant museum, I feel like the question, like, what's the most valuable thing ever kept here? Like, I think there is a plant in there. Like, Becca said Wally. I'm like, yeah, kind of like Wally. Like there's
like in a boot.
a plant.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
in a
literally
tiny
the
chunk of
last-
moon by request. Yes.
Okay. There is canonically also a tiny chunk of moon.
And a plant, and yeah, and like maps and picture, just like the archives.
I like the idea of the most valuable thing being like a plant. Yeah, like a plant capable of doing something cool. So, excuse me. So that there has to be a reason that this specific plant was saved when the entire world was
dying.
Yeah, was completely dying. It has to be the last of its kind, obviously.
Of course, otherwise.
But, what if this, what if it had something to do with like, it's not quite like a, it's not like a psychotropic or anything like that, but, I'm gonna say sap. I think it's kind of like a little.
Right.
I'm thinking like the equivalent of like a bonsai tree kind of thing.
Okay. Into it.
But something that can be harvested from it and not harm
that doesn't
the
kill the plant.
Can be used to basically as like a memory enhancer to help people remember. Like it's how they're able to remember even after so long of their world being destroyed. So people just licking the tree, like a big old lollipop. But that's I'm thinking either something like that or something that you imbibe and it
like
gives
you can use
a
it
sap
for
that helps
tea.
maintain an oral tradition. Yeah, exactly. Basically, it helps the people have a record of all of their history, because you can read something and then if this thing helps you remember that thing in perfect detail, then you can tell it to other people in perfect detail. The Tree of Remembrance.
Yes, I see you have also watched Disenchanted.
I haven't, but wait, no. Did I? I don't know. Maybe. Who knows?
A memory tree plays a very big part in that movie.
It's like
for a Disney sequel. It's pretty quality. Very fun, but I like that a lot.
Excellent.
Like, and I can see it being like, now I'm imagining that like you use it to like make tea or something like that, because then you have like a tea ceremony becomes a whole new thing. That it's like you get together and like group remember.
Yeah. Great.
It's good.
It's gonna be so great when that tree dies.
Yeah, like
really
nice tree you've got there. It'd be really bad if something
really
were to
sad if something
happened to it.
If it ended up in the black void of space.
Yeah. I guess we'll see.
I guess we'll see. Right. I think how it's protected, I think we can kind of just it's a space station. There's a lot of ways that you can protect a thing.
Yeah, I think
very
that's
many
less
doors. Lots of doors.
Lots of doors, lots of retinal scans, lots of biometric stuff.
Yeah.
But
we gotta answer a question about the threat, everyone.
We have to answer a question about the threat.
We gotta answer a tiger.
Yes.
Yes.
And also
one tiger and a rhinoceros, and they're best friends. They were roommates even.
Oh my god, they were roommates.
So the answer that we need to come up with is, what is the threat called by the Guardians? Or are they just called the threat? And what do they call themselves? I don't think they call themselves anything.
I don't think they call themselves anything either. Sorry, I'm like...
It's fine. Fidget away.
I know, I'm like... I had my feet like on the floor, and I'm like, I can't do that. So now I like pulled my knees up to my chest. I'm like, this is right.
This is better. Full gremlin mode.
Yep.
I think something like, I mean, this calling it the swarm is like, it feels like it's an easy thing. Oh wait, what is that? There's a thing where when swallows do the thing. What is that called?
Big bird.
Murmurations.
Murmuration. There.
When they murmur. It's called the murmur. Help.
Whereas I googled big bird flock name, murmuration came up. That was the first thing that came up. But what I googled was big bird flock name.
Murderers.
That just makes me think of Metalocalypse. Mermaider.
I like that it would be called the murmur, because like that to me is like, it's a subtle, because a murmur or a whisper can turn into a cacophony given enough time.
In spaces, like, space is quiet.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tessa. I Google like an 80-year-old learning how to use the internet. Google.
Okay, listen. Google sometimes is best navigated with as few words as possible. You want to be nice and succinct.
So I
take
think,
out all
like,
of those articles and whatever.
Space is quiet, and I feel like you can, if the murmur is coming, like it's like almost like the sound you get when you like hear somebody, you're not sure if you hear somebody talking, it's like in the back of your mind when if you like hear somebody behind you saying something, but you don't know, like it's just, you don't know if it's actually something there. Yeah. Not stressing at all.
We're content. We're writers, everyone.
Wee woo.
Wee woo. As a reminder, y'all, if you want to also play this game and maybe make it a space station or not, please go back to Kickstarter. It's very good. There's also, you can get a tier that has dice that go with it. So if you're a dice goblin, there's also that. Anyway, I'm going to flip over another card. We're going to do the connective tissue between these two, which is 9.
Interesting. Okay.
Man-made place long abandoned. Ooh, what type of structure is this? How long ago was this place abandoned? How does the sanctuary's power prevent anyone from returning to it? Okay. I don't know how well this fits.
Yeah, we can massage.
Either
redraw.
We're just gonna
it's our game. We can do whatever.
Look, it was a 6 the whole time.
Perfect.
Listen, it's a tangential one, and it's good. Okay, so 6 is instead a place recently left vacant. This works. That's a lot of diamonds. What kind of place was it before it was left empty? What recent events caused it to be abandoned by those who once occupied this space? And how does the sanctuary's power feel different there?
I have an idea.
I love this.
It's sad.
I love this.
I think it was living quarters.
Yes.
And because I don't like this place. The space station wasn't just the Guardians who lived there. Like, they were the Guardians, and then there were like civilians like from this planet. And I think the murmur, there was a very intense assault by the murmur on the station that resulted in there just being guardians left. And to conserve like energy and resources, they kind of like locked down one section of, like, they moved everybody into one living quarters space and like blocked off the unused living quarters.
You're right, it was sad.
Yeah, and I think like the reason the Sanctuary's power feels different here is because like they've shut off access to the Sanctuary's power. Like there's still like the power still flows through it, but it's not as strong or concentrated here because there are no people. I'm here to make people sad and chew bubblegum, and I'm all out of bubblegum.
Oh God. Okay, well, alright. Okay, well.
Oops.
Great. I think that's great. I was thinking something very similar, actually. I was like,
Yes,
but what if it was... What if there used to be people here? Now there's that. So this is great. Terrible, but great. Yeah, it feels kind of like going to like an abandoned barn in the middle of the day, where you know at one point this place used to be filled with some kind of purpose and some kind of life to it, and now it's just an empty shell of what it used to be.
Yeah.
And you can kind of feel it because that, like, the lack of power and stuff that's in there, you can literally feel it.
Oh, I like that a lot. Yeah, there's an echo of what it used to be.
Yeah.
That's good shit. And what? Oh, answer about the threat. Why do they want
the threat?
Yeah, you know what? It's funny because there are an equal amount of questions about the threat and about the Guardians in every game that I've played recently. It's been like 80% questions about the threat, and I feel like it almost works out. Like, I like playing with the threat being the more fleshed out thing in the beginning, because then you can build on the Guardians more like during the next phase. But it's just interesting that like that's just how the cards have worked out in like all of these games that I've played.
Yeah.
Yeah, why do they want the Sanctuary's power?
Literally, power is their food.
Love it.
That's how they eat.
Nom 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 nom. Yep. They gotta survive.
Yeah, so it's not
Yeah, I do
malicious,
like that.
technically.
Yeah.
Or at least like not intentionally.
Yeah. Like maybe if there's a greater force controlling the murmur.
Yeah.
Which I don't even know if like that needs to be determined or not, but as far as the Guardians know, yeah, it's not malicious. It's not like they're not doing it to cause harm for the sake of harm. Like, it's survival.
Yeah, it's literally a giant all-you-can-eat buffet and a big sign that says "Eat here." Like, they're doing what looks to be the obvious thing.
Cool. I feel sad for the... Jeez.
All right. 8. The main source of water.
Ooh.
Ooh.
How do you get water in space?
Good question. How do we get water in space?
How do we get water in space?
Okay. I mean, the Expanse expounds on this. Shh. What kind of water source is this? Is there fear of the water source ever running out? What about the sanctuary's power makes the water flow differently here?
All right, that one we kind of. It's just a pool. It's a jacuzzi.
It's just one giant pool. Yeah, it's just it's not one big pool. It's just a bunch of small inflatable kiddie pools. It's just like a pond of pools.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. I know. No, I'm trying to remember. I know, like, in The Martian, he, like, breaks up. The science made sense when I read it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, kind of, like, pulls water, like, out of the air.
Yeah, because if you have oxygen,
Mm-hmm.
You could, by nature of the human body having, assuming that, you know, the people inhabiting this place are in fact humans or were humans at some point, the human body is full of a lot of things, like blood, but also like water-based. We're water-based.
The human body's full of a lot of things.
It's just so many liquids.
It's so many liquids in this bad boy.
But a good point is made. This could be like basically a greenhouse, like a terrarium that is both the water and oxygen supply for this station.
Love it. Love the idea of a giant greenhouse in a space station.
Mm-hmm.
Gives me big, long way to a small angry planet vibes. And that's like one of my favorite books, so into it. Yeah. Big old greenhouse.
I'm writing that in all caps.
Big old greenhouse. Yes, good.
What I like about it is that it's next to this basically what I consider a giant hallway with like one weird panel, and abandoned living quarters, and whatever's next door. It's just. Part of me wishes that this was in the middle here, so you have to walk through the greenhouse to get anywhere. I love that. Yeah, big old greenhouse. That's what I was gonna say. I was gonna write down that it provides both of them.
Yeah. Perfect.
Water and breathable air.
Look at us making a map of a space station.
We're doing it, everyone.
Look
And
at this map.
I think the thing about the sanctuary specifically that makes it like viable and why you don't have to water the plants or whatever is that something about the way that the sanctuary was built, water is drinkable air. Well, I mean, H2O.
The more you know.
The more you know. But the something about the station, something about how the plants were planted into the station, it basically cycles its own, it's basically the plants have a symbiotic network where they basically feed themselves on each other. It's like
those big enclosed terrariums that like you never need to do anything to, and it just self-sustains.
Yeah, so all of this biological essence, whatever kind of plant forms it is it all works in a symbiotic relationship where it just kind of does its thing. And in that thing, it produces moisture and it produces oxygen or whatever kind of breathable air that we need in its own little, like, space. Space. It's a space game. Space.
I love it. I would also like to put forth the suggestion that this space station is actually called Sanctuary.
Yeah. That, you know what? It's the first live play game. It has to be. We have to put the name of the movie has to be here.
Roll credits.
Let's go.
It's called Sanctuary. Roll credits.
Amazing. We have another question about the threat, though.
We do have another question about the threat.
How do they know that the sanctuary and its power exists?
I feel like because we have made them robots, they kind of just like fly through space looking for power. They don't need to breathe. They're just little robots. They're just little robots. And they're just zipping through space, and suddenly you're like, "Whoa, what's over there?"
Oh, that's really bright. What's that over there?
Like, maybe we go check that out.
Yikes! I hate accidentally inviting a bad thing into my house.
This will be super interesting when we get to like the confrontation phase with how I know that I've written a lot of the prompts. I'm like, we're gonna have fun massaging this for swarm of robots.
Yikes.
I'm excited.
I'm scared.
We're gonna make it work. It's gonna be great.
Nervous.
It'll be fine. We can massage all we want.
Yeah.
I wrote the game. I say it's okay.
Correct. We have one more card, and then we're gonna take a little bit of a break, if that works for you, to stretch our legs.
Yep.
Refill our beverages.
Yep.
Take good bio breaks and all that.
Yep.
3.
All right. Let's see what we got. Interesting. And another question about the threat. Dude.
Of course.
A location extremely difficult to traverse. What is found here that makes traversing this area worth the risk? What tragedy has taken place here? Meghan, why would you write that?
Meghan!
How has the sanctuary's power shaped this place unlike anywhere else? Oh.
So my first thought was a pocket dimension, but I don't know how far we want to go into pseudoscience. Or like sci-fi, like how far we want to go.
I mean, we can go wherever you want.
Because my thinking was this space, I thought like primarily of like a parallel to like the holodeck in Star Trek. But this space, something happened in this space, maybe with one of the attacks or something like that, or it's just a malfunction at some point. This particular space is constantly shifting to emulate different places that have been recorded. So either different places of this world that is now dead, or places that have been explored. Whatever kind of like things that have been fed to it by the people of this place.
Is this where they would like lick the memory tree and go to remember things before it got messed up?
Yeah, I think so. This would be like the tea room.
Yeah. But now it's all weird.
But now it's weird. Yeah, now it's all broken. It's all broken. But if people go in there, you get to experience all of these very wild things. Some of them are dangerous. What if something remembered? Yeah, if something remembered wrong. How do you think the nanobots got listen. That memory looking good.
Memory looking good. Oh my god. Country fried memory.
When you're here, your memories. I gotta write down all of these thoughts. They're going away.
And I will say that I'm pretty sure I have it in the game text. But like when I was coming up with this mechanic, like this map making thing, something that I did was I would have like post-it notes or even like index cards, and I would write everything on like a post-it note and then stick the post-it note to the card, like in the physical map, so that I could still, because I didn't want to draw it. Even when it's just squares, I still don't want to draw it. So I would either like write it on an index card and like put the index card over the card, or put like a post-it on it so that I could then like look at the map and remember everything that I had. If that helps other people when they're playing. I think it is very cool.
It's pretty. It's very accessible.
But that kind of answers the like sanctuary's power thing of like the innate power of the sanctuary made this room possible, but also made it a little bit wild.
Yeah.
The tragedy because to answer that one, the tragedy that took place here is I think someone died in that room, and there was just both kind of like a negative thing brought into a generally positive space, and also a sudden flush and then cutting off of all kinds of memories, with the idea that, like, you know, really taking to effect the idea of your life flashing before your eyes right before you die happened in that room. And so now it's just overloaded. And now it's just cycling through all of these memories and all of these places and experiences, some of which are not good. And if you happen to be caught in the death memory, you could die. you could in fact die.
In the simulation, you die in your life.
Great. Cool. I really like this. I made a cool game.
This is when I just start repeating ttrpgs are fun like every couple minutes just to remind myself.
Wait, this is good. This is a good time. This is a great time.
I'm having fun.
Wholesome entertainment. Oh. Cool. All right.
Cool.
Well, we have our sanctuary station, everyone.
We do. Look at it.
Look at it. It's so full of diamonds. This is fun and not at all my fault.
Yeah.
Correct. We're gonna take a quick break, refuel at our hydration garden greenhouse. Go stretch your bones. Get ready for it to be even more sad, because it's by George, it's coming.
Because now it's fighting time.
Now we gotta see how it gets sad. Like, really sad, though. Like, actually sad, not preconceived sadness.
Yes.
So we'll be back in about 5-ish minutes. Stick around. We'll see. We'll see. It just will be, okay? All right, good. Okay, bye. back.
We're back.
Oh, I didn't clean this up. So, we don't need this anymore, right?
No, we do.
Just kidding.
Just
I'm glad I
kidding.
didn't touch it. We do need these, though.
Yes.
Wow, 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 wow. Wow, 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 wow.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So now we go into the battle phase. Battle phase mechanics are fairly straightforward. All you need is a d6. The way that this works is we have a deck of cards made up of the spades and hearts shuffled together, and we will, one card at a time, flip cards. We will choose a location in our sanctuary, which is why we still need the map. We will choose a location in the sanctuary and then flip a card onto that location to know exactly what confrontation is happening in that space.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. The way that it works is, we will flip a card, we will choose a location, we'll flip a card, we'll read the prompt, and then we will roll for success. And the way that Sanctuary works is the Guardians will always win. They are always going to win. They will always defeat the threat. What? I'm sorry.
There's a dog doing circles.
Oh, I was like, there's a dog. My dog is trying to fold her bed in half.
Just off screen for y'all, but
yeah,
just doing circles.
Yep, and there she goes. Nope. I don't.
Good. It's all
she's
good.
The Guardians will always win. Even if we roll a failure, the Guardians still will triumph. But what this means is if we fail, it's not the Guardians losing, it's the Guardians winning at a cost. And we will determine using the prompts like what that cost is. So the basic mechanic is once we read the prompt, we will roll for success. To start, anything that's not a 1 or a 2 is a success. If we succeed, we succeed. There's a success prompt. We read that. We read the success prompt. We answer the questions. We succeed, we win, yay! And then we move on to the next card. If we fail, there's a failure prompt. We answer the questions associated with that, determine what it is we have lost to succeed in this fight. And it becomes harder to succeed the next time. So to start, a 1 or a 2 is a failure. 3, 4, 5, 6 is a success. If once you fail once, now a 1, 2, or a 3 is a failure. And a 4, 5, 6 is
see
a
where
success.
this is going.
And the game is played until you cannot succeed anymore. So once you have failed enough that even rolling a 6 is a failure, that's what triggers the final stand and the end of the game. So this represents, like I said, the threat's always going to win, or the Guardians are always going to win. It just becomes more and more difficult as they lose supplies or Guardians fall in the fights, or you lose morale. Like you're losing something that's making it harder to win each time, which is why it becomes harder to roll a success if you've failed multiple times already. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Like I've been saying, I've been playing some shorter games of Sanctuary. This tends to be around a 3-hour game. But if you want to play a shorter game, I've played it where you just flip 1 card per location, and then you still roll for success or failure, but you just end it after you've done that many cards if you want to control the length of the game a little more. But we can just see how it goes. And we'll just see how it goes. We'll If we need to
We'll
truncate,
play to see what happens.
We'll
as
play
with
to see what happens.
Most good games are.
So.
Okay.
All right.
I'm
so
just like briefly glancing at some of these, and I'm like,
some of them are a little rough.
It's fine. It's fine, everyone. Meghan only makes happy games.
Some of them are a little rough. Some of them will have to do some finagling to fit our location and our threat, but that's okay too, because we're gonna make it happen because we made a really cool place and a really cool threat. So where do we want the first confrontation to be?
I think the first one needs to be in the weird room, because I feel like that room gives off the highest ping of power because it's drawing the most power. So it makes sense to me that that's where they would converge first.
And if it makes sense to you, it would probably make sense to a swarm of robots.
Great. Hiya. I don't know how you... Do I just go like that?
Yeah, just... Yeah.
Okay.
However you want. What do we got?
An 8 of heart. An 8 of red.
8 of red. Okay. Ooh.
Scrolly.
I like this one a lot. Okay. Let me clear my throat so I can get my narrator voice going. Arguing can be heard as a confrontation between two guardians becomes heated. One of them appears to be attempting to talk the other down as they become more and more aggressive. The aggressor is shouting for all who can hear that the guardians have been lied to, that the sanctuary is not as it seems, and that the threat has a right to try to claim it for themselves. There is something in their eyes that no one has seen before, the influence of the threat. This dissonance amongst the guardians cannot be allowed to continue. They need to be reminded of what is right and cleansed of the threat's ill influence. Now we'll roll to see what happened.
Okay. Oh, jeez.
Oh, okay. That's a 5.
Okay, so that's a success.
So on a success, a small group of guardians leads the aggressor away to a quiet place, ignoring their shouts and struggles to get away. Through patience and the power of the sanctuary, the threat's influence is able to be cleared from their mind, and they return to their senses. How did the threat manage to infiltrate their mind, and how was the influence removed?
I think
the guardian.
Literally, as an aside, I think it literally was an errant nanobite or two got like into their brain, and they took them. They took them. I think they would have probably taken them to like the quietest, most vacuous place, where there's not really anything there, and it just starved them, basically.
Into it. All right. So, the guardian remembers little of their time under the influence of the threat, but reveals something that will be helpful in future battles. Though they understand what they did was not of their own volition, the guardian still insists they atone for what they've done. So the other questions we have are, what do they remember from their time under the influence? And what do they do to ease their guilt after they've been made all better?
Something that'll be helpful in future battles.
What if they can see like where the murmur like came from, like where they originated, like that maybe there's like another space station somewhere in this like sector, and when the Guardian was like under that influence, they could like feel like a connection to like the main hub that controls all of the nanobots.
The first thing, again, Star Trek came into my mind was like the Borg cube.
Shock.
Huh. Yeah, I really like that. So like if we wanted to make a counter attack, not that we are, because that's not necessarily what this game is about. Right. That is what, you know, in a perfect world where we didn't as players know that we were going to die at the end, you know, could make plans for a counter attack. I like that. Right. I like that. What do they do to ease their guilds? That's equal to Sanctuary counterattack. Exactly. Go back, Sanctuary and counterattack right now on Kickstarter, everyone.
It's 5e compatible.
How do they ease their guilds? I think they spend the rest of their time tending to the greenhouse to ensure that everyone stays alive, basically. You know, for as long as that's gonna happen.
Why do you say that?
It was in the rules, Megan. I read them.
Oh, joke's on me, I guess.
I've played Sentinel. I know where the sequel happens. I read book 2 before book 1.
Do not cite the deep magic to me, which I was there when it was written.
It was written. And so we put out the Sanctuary. Done. Get out of here. We don't need this. All right, excellent. We've done it. We did it. Good job. Great job. Great. There it is. Haha. All right, where do you want to have our next encounter?
Let's go with the
I'm gonna put it
derelict living quarters.
Okay. 6, Black 6.
Black 6. It's the name of my metal band.
Yes.
Okay. Scrolling. This PDF is very large. In the afternoon, which is all relative, we're in space. In the afternoon, right before the midday meal, a pair of patrolling guardians spot something amiss near one of the borders of the sanctuary. When they move closer to investigate, a trap is sprung. One of the guardians manages to free themselves from the trap just as the threat descends upon the trapped guardian and carries them away towards their nearest hiding spot, determined to extract as much information as they can from their prisoner.
Uh-oh. Oh, jeez. Oh, no. My interpretation of this is that there was something pinged on the outside of the station. That they went to go and make sure, because it like
a little spacewalk.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, well, that's... Oh, that's a 2.
We have our first failure.
So, what begins as bearable quickly becomes more than the Guardian can handle despite all their training. With each jolt of pain, they become closer and closer to telling the threat what they want to hear, until they will do anything to make it stop. The threat is satisfied a moment before they demand to know more. So what secrets do they reveal? What do they want to know?
What more do they want to know?
Yeah.
Oh, no. Okay, the tree. It's the tree. They tell them about the tree.
Oh, it's about the tree.
They tell them about the tree. They do. It has to be, right?
It has to be.
It has to be.
It's gotta be. So before the Guardian is able to answer, shouting is heard nearby. The Guardian who escaped the trap had rallied a group for a rescue mission. After a minor scuffle, the captured Guardian is freed and brought back to the Sanctuary. Do they confess the secrets that they revealed to the threat?
Ooh. What?
I think my first thought, because I'm a stinker, is no, because they're probably like, it's in the most secure spot in this entire station. Like, there's no way they're gonna be able to get in there. There's no reason for me to tell. There's no reason for me to tell the other Guardians, because it'll just worry them, and I know, like, I trust that it's safe.
Yeah, kind of like the idea of, you know, they were under so much duress that they told a very important thing, but like maybe the part of them was thinking, oh, well, it's okay though, because there's no way that they're going to be able to do anything about it. So like they gave them information that they wanted to hear, the hubris. But I think exactly right. I don't think that they tell them, not out of like out of a sense of confidence, out of a sense of hubris, of like, you know, not
they don't
not,
need to know.
Exactly. Not, well, yeah, because what in my head, it's the thought of like, well, why should I tell them and warn them when it's nothing to be concerned about anyway? Not in the sense of like, I don't want to show them how weak I was and how I broke under pressure. Yeah, not that kind of vibe.
Yeah.
Gotta love a huge bris. All right, excellent. So now it's a 50-50 chance of whether we succeed or fail. Is that right?
Yep.
I'm remembering.
That is correct. Yes.
I've remembered mechanics,
yes,
friends. It's a good day. All right. I want to have a bad time happening near our hidden place. Ace on ace, friends. It's aces all the way down or up, depending on which way you scroll.
Red
ace. It's a black ace. It's a black ace.
So, it's a black ace? Okay. Scrolling back down again.
Oh, I can read this one. A lone figure approaches the sanctuary, quickly spotted by a patrolling guardian, who shouts at them to stay where they are. This is, of course, it's got to be a ship. Ignoring the command, the figure continues closer and closer until they are mere feet from the sanctuary, looking up at a small handful of guardians who have now gathered. I'm not here to fight, the figure declares in a booming voice. I'm here to offer you a chance to abandon this futile fight and join us. Anyone who comes with me now will be welcomed with open arms. Past transgressions against us forgotten. Any takers? All right, but... Okay, but... So we've always assumed that people just died here. What if there was an attack by the Murmur a while ago? A bunch of people died, and then there were two separate... This place was abandoned by everyone except for the Guardians from this past world. Everyone except for, like, these handful of Guardians who wanted to protect and preserve all of this stuff left. And this is them coming back.
Well,
so when it says a lone figure, it's just one ship of whatever survivors who didn't stay.
Okay. That's a 6.
Yay! Great.
So on a success. Oh, go ahead.
It's hard to hold back the scoffs and laughs at the offer being made as the Guardians look upon the figure with derision. Whew. Someone steps forward to formally reject the offer. Who is it and what do they say?
I think
it's the archivist.
My thought was that it's whoever the youngest guardian is, like somebody who's just like young and confident and like we don't like, we're not buying what you're selling, like you better get out of here.
Yeah, you left. We didn't. Yeah.
Like we didn't go with you the first time, we're not gonna go with you now.
Yeah, something along the lines of, maybe you were so quick to forget where you came from, but we aren't, or something like that.
Like that a lot.
Great. The figure mumbles something in a low voice, telling them that they would be sorry, only to quickly retreat as the guardians raise their weapon. As they turn and leave, they shout a warning. What is the warning? Maybe. Ooh. Huh!
Yes, tell me.
The warning is, some things are best left forgotten.
Well, that's probably fine.
I love an ominous warning. I love a foreboding warning. Yeah.
Respectfully, what the fuck?
Yay!
TTRPGs are fun.
Games are great, friends. Excellent. This is fine. Where would you like to have our next thing?
I don't want to have any more fighting.
I don't want to fight anymore. Can we just cuddle? Can we cuddle?
Well, it's so funny because what I said, like my intention in designing this game the way I designed it is so that it hurts more when you're doing this stage of the game because you spent so much time creating it. So I'm like, I want you to feel things when you have to mess stuff up.
Yeah.
You're like, what's this? The consequences of my own game design? I don't want this. So I'm gonna go with the greenhouse.
It's a red jack.
It's a red jack.
Red jack.
Wow, this is very apropos for this room.
How did you do this?
I'm a witch!
It's magic, everyone!
It's magic! A meeting is called and the guardians assemble together. Someone places a bucket of water in the center of the group, declaring that something is wrong with the water supply that feeds the sanctuary. When they are questioned, they place a cup in the bucket, filling it up and lifting it to reveal that the water is streaked with red and brown. Perhaps poisoned, but undrinkable regardless, they say, before pouring the glass back into the bucket. With the primary water source tainted, either a new source of water needs to be found or the water needs to be purified, and quickly.
Now, don't fail. I know. Or fail. Listen, failing is interesting.
You fail forward.
We fail forward in this game, and by forward I mean we fall flat on our asses, but in a good way. The universe did say, you know what will be fun? In the place where the water is, let's make the water bad. Let's make the water bad, but in the water place.
Part of game design is trapping a sentient spirit into the deck. That, that is fair. Oh my goodness. Alright, well. Okay, I'm gonna roll. Row. I rolled a 2.
Ooh.
On a failure, after over a day of searching, the source of the tainted water is discovered. What is it? What signs prove that the threat is the culprit?
So it's so there's red and brown streaks in it. So these are tiny machines.
Mm-hmm.
And machines typically need like things like oil or some kind of machine juice.
Yeah, there's just like a bunch of like the nanobots just got in it.
They just got so that means then are the nanobots in the plants? Are they like all up in that combined ecosystem now? They're like all up in there?
Oh shit. Yeah.
They've assimilated into the symbiotic relationship and they're not supposed to be there. So it's making the water bad.
Definitely fine.
It's for sure good and not
it's
bad. It's
for sure
at
fine.
All.
It's cool. It's not like you're in space.
Yeah, it's not like there's a finite amount of water here.
Mm-hmm,
it's cool. It's great. It's good. It's fine.
Cool. Along with this discovery is an even more unfortunate one. The impurities cannot be removed from the water, and it will need to run its course now that the source of the taint is removed, which will take days or even weeks. Stored water is rationed, but there isn't enough, and some of the most desperate ones are driven to drink the impure water.
Uh-oh.
What happens to those who drink it? It is over a week before the water runs clean again. How many are lost in that time?
I can't wait for the happy ending. I can't wait for it.
Me too, James. Me too.
Okay. What happens to those who drink the nano water? Oh. Okay. So we've had a great time here today.
Please tell me that your brain is firing the same horrible thought that my brain
we have been focusing a lot on remembering things, right? What if these nanomachines do the opposite and people start forgetting just everything?
Yes.
Hand wiggles.
Yes. They go bananas.
They go bananas. Ah! The hero is just a big magnet, exactly. It's just one giant electrical surge in a bunch of plants. The plants will be fine.
Yeah, so that keys into the horrible idea I had, which was...
I love that. We're bouncing horrible ideas off of each other.
Is that the murmur just takes power from the person that they're in until that person's just like a shell, and
So here's the thing about brains, everyone. Brains run off of a bunch of teeny tiny little energetic charges that bounce around everywhere. Mm-hmm. So, in the act of feeding off of these small energetic charges, the brain starts to forget.
Brain go stop.
Brain go no go. Brain go bad. An Osmosis Jones game of Sanctuary would be astounding.
Please do it. And please do it in a way that
in like a Breath of the Wild fashion. So like it's not a person, but it's like when Link goes into the giant guardians.
He's good.
Anyway, I'm sad now.
Yeah, it's
which is great. I think anybody who drinks this tainted water is
mm-hmm.
gone within a week, for sure.
Yeah,
100%. Those nanites consume until they don't, and then they'd stop.
Yep.
The murmurs eat the brain juice,
Murmurs
just
eat
like
the
in
brain
real
juice.
life.
Yep. That's really good and really sound. I love it. I love world building games. Even when I write them. I love this shit. This is good shit.
This is the good shit.
This is the good shit. It makes me very sad, but it's the good shit.
Okay. Well, that was another failure, which means that this could end very quickly. All right.
Mm-hmm.
We have to have one in the we have to have one in the safety zone, in the safety room. We have to have one there.
Where the tree
Where the
lives?
tree is being safetied. Is King?
King what?
Black.
Black
The
King.
black
Okay.
King. Yeah. Oops.
Scrolling.
Okay, I will read while you scroll. The Guardians are locked in a battle against the threat and are pushing them back when the threat reveals an ability the Guardians have never seen before. This new power catches the Guardians off guard, and the threat quickly gains the upper hand as they take advantage of the Guardians' faltering.
Ooh. Oh, I got a roll. All right, so now only a 5 or a 6. Is a success.
I'm glad that it's here.
Ooh, that was a 6 though.
Woo, 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 woo. Okay, the Guardians need to act quickly to adapt to this new power the threat has exhibited. What is this new ability? So we established that they are kind of like a swarm, like a murmuring swarm, that can combine to make themselves into larger entities, such as humanoid figures or things of that nature that can like open doors or operate heavy machinery or whatever.
What it because it's a swarm, so it's all like, I assume it's all like one consciousness. What if they take what they ate out of the brain juice and they learn how to do the things that the Guardians
I was
did?
literally about to say something very, very similar of like, what if they could talk now?
Like that, because it's all one hive mind. When they take the memories out of the Guardians, they have now, they can talk and they know how to do.
They know what's
do.
important, quote unquote, important to us. So of course they would go try to attack the thing that we're going to defend. Of course they are.
Oh, that's so fucked up. I love it.
Okay. The threat is able to push them back, but after some time on the defensive to study their enemy, the Guardians are able to switch to the offensive to counter their attack. How are they able to do that? Once they realize that they're literally fighting against their friends, essentially.
Yeah.
Everybody has a very sad time, and then they're like, okay, but we fought alongside them. We know how they fight. Boop, hoop, hoop. With the threat no longer having the element of surprise on their side, they begin to fall back when they know they have been beaten. What important lesson is learned from this encounter? Don't drink the water. Don't drink the bad water. Don't get nanobots inside your body.
Yeah, like they've learned that the murmur can learn.
Yeah. Nanomachine son, exactly. It's bad time.
It's bad time.
Oh god.
They make you go bananos.
The bananos. Not the bananos.
Bananos.
Hey, you know what? The tree's okay for now, so it's fine.
The tree's okay.
The tree's okay. We're okay, so we still have 2 numbers we can roll and not fail.
Yep.
So this is fine.
This is fine. I think that I would like to go to the living quarters again. I think.
A tree! A red tree.
A red tree.
Not a tree, but a tree, you know?
Yeah, I know. This will be much easier to find prompts once it's not just a 19-page PDF and it's beautifully laid out. If you would like to see this game beautifully laid out, you can back it on Kickstarter if you'd like. It's pretty cool.
Do it.
It's pretty cool. At least go to the page and watch the really cool video.
The video is very good, y'all.
It's
very, very good. Also, like, it's almost halfway funded, which is...
No, it's not.
It is.
No, it's not.
It is. We're getting there.
Oh
my... Listen, let's go! Day 1, y'all. This thing still has 29 days to go, and it's almost halfway funded. Listen.
Yeah, it's so much more than it was the last time I looked at it.
Good, great, good. It's really cool. It's really, really cool.
Yeah.
Get stretch goals, everybody. Do it. Make Meghan make more things.
Because if you watch the video and you're like, man, that's a really cool video, I sure would like to hear more of that. My main stretch goal is to hire the amazing Erin Catano-Saez, who did the voiceover for the Kickstarter video, to do a full audiobook version of both Sanctuary and Sentinel, which would be, in addition to being fantastic and wonderful, it also makes the game more accessible for people, and that's
so you can have
fantastic.
audio prompts instead of having to read off of it. Like, we need more audio-based games. Imagine! Right? That's so cool.
More and more, we're seeing more people like do them. I know Aaron's done a couple. He's an incredible voice actor. So this video, I love this video so much, considering it was put together in like 2 days, with Aaron doing the recording and my wonderful spouse doing the video. So thank you to them. Yeah, check it out. That's that. Y'all, thank you so much.
I'm so excited to see this Kickstarter explode by the end of this month. So good job, everyone. Keep doing it. Share it everywhere. Tell everyone who's even remotely interested in TTRPGs to go and back it.
I know something I learned when I was at PAX is that like a lot of people aren't aware that there are GM-less or solo TTRPGs out there. So if you're one of those people, or if you know people who are like, what's up with solo or GM-less TTRPGs, you could be like, here's 2 of them, and they're gonna be really pretty. They're gonna be really pretty, and I can... Yeah, it's gonna be... Yeah, if we fund, that's amazing. Our first stretch goal is Mac's gonna design a notebook, and you can add... And that'll be available as an add-on if you want to have a Sanctuary Sentinel themed notebook to play the game, and then...
I'm a notebook nerd. I have a different notebook for each TTRPG that I'm in.
Yeah.
I've got so many. This baby can hold so many notes.
Yeah, so I wanted to do custom notebooks that matches the aesthetic of the zine. That can be added.
It's the aesthetic. It's gonna be this aesthetic, by the way.
Yes.
Like,
it's going to
amazingness.
Be...
Like it's.
Yes. Mac and I are both big medieval lit nerds. So we want it to look like a medieval like manuscript. And
I'm so excited.
I'm so excited. The one, you can see a sample spread on the Kickstarter page.
It looks so good. It looks so good.
Beautiful. And I just really need the scene to fund so that I can see the rest of the pages.
You're on a good trajectory, because I mean it's day 1 and you're almost at $2,000. So like, It's pretty
Hey,
good.
let's play this sad game to distract me from crying.
Let's cry in the game and then cry for real.
If you cry in the game, you cry for real life.
Yeah. Ethan is exactly correct. There is something special about getting something you made into your actual physical hands. That's kind of when we published our first book. That was exactly the same thing of like, oh, wait.
Yeah, when I got the box of like one particular harbor, I like opened it and just started crying. Just like, oh, okay. Soft bitch. I'm in my soft bitch era.
Let's go. Okay. Well, I'll read this one then, since I'm here. During a routine patrol, this is in the living quarters. During a routine patrol, someone catches a glimpse of a figure running from food storage. They are pursued but manage to slip away before they can be apprehended. It is unclear who they were, but soon enough it becomes clear that whoever it was working on behalf of the threat. When the food stores are inspected, a startling discovery is made. All of the stored food seems to have been rendered inedible. Food is still being produced, but without the reserves in storage, there will likely not be enough to go around in a matter of days. Oh!
I will say I feel like this pairs up nicely with the timeline of like now the threat can like be a person. Now like the murmur can be a person. And they have
they understand that like we're organic life forms that need this is our sustenance, and they're like, oh, well, if we want to get our sustenance, we just have to make sure that they don't have any of theirs, and then there'll be no
prompt games just know.
They just know. It's just literally magic.
All right. Well. So that's a 4, which is a failure now.
We're one away from stuff. Excellent. Well, despite efforts to salvage any bit of food they can, it is no use. Nothing can be saved. Every single piece of food that had been stored is now inedible. The Guardians begin searching the area to try and discover how the threat managed to sneak in undetected. What do they find? This is in the
living quarters.
I
think, did they like spread and then they solidified into a people?
Right.
Like, did they come in like a vent or something? Like a...
They're in the walls. They're in the walls.
They're in the walls.
They don't have to...
They came out of
like,
the soil in the greenhouse.
And they just kind of are... They're in... It's kind of that unheard, unseen presence, but they're literally within, like, the walls of the station now.
Oh, I hate that so much. Perfect. Perfect. I hate it. I hate it.
Terrible, because you can't really do anything about it without damaging the station. They're just sitting there.
Yep.
Oh! Knowing that, I love how that started as a joke of me laying like, they're in the walls, and then me like, oh, wait a minute, but consider.
But what if they were in the walls?
What if they were in the walls? Knowing that there's not enough food to sustain the Guardians for too long, a meeting is held to share the unfortunate news and come together to make a plan for survival while the food stores are replenished. How long will it take to make up for the food that was destroyed? What sacrifices need to be made to replenish the lost food? And how does this plan affect morale amongst the Guardians? I imagine not well. Especially due to the fact that with the ship that came not too terribly long ago, I'm sure that there's a lot of dissension now with people questioning, well, we should have abandoned all hope. We should have left. Sorry, there was weirdness happening with me. It's all better now. But we should have just left with these people. And like a lot of infighting because of that.
Yeah.
I don't think that it's there's nothing productive that comes about it. I don't think that there's an answer that's made.
I think it's a lot of like I bet there's a lot of like quiet like meditation almost as a way to try to like distract from the hunger.
Yeah, a lot of use of that of the broken room, I think.
Yeah.
To try to distract and stuff. I do think that as far as sacrifices that need to be made, I do think they have to start cutting back at the greenhouse. They have to start eating some of the plants in order to literally survive, which means it's going to cut into their water supply and their oxygen supply. But the plants will eventually grow back, and eventually they'll get enough food. But kind of everything sucks right now. Everything is bad. Everything is broken, including us. So
yes, it's great.
It's all good. It's all great.
You'll love to see it, except you don't. It's the worst.
We see it and we cry. Everything is cry. But here's the thing, friends. If we roll anything but a 6, then it's our last failure. Do we resolve the card and then move into the final stand?
Yes.
Okay. Well, Megan.
Well, Maria.
Where should we have this
potentially memory tree.
Yes! Yes! All right, cards. Give us something that will tear our hearts out. Do it. Queen, Black Queen. Ah! This is the sound of me scrolling.
Yeah.
Stop it! The card's done it again, everybody. They done it again. All right. So here we are. Here it is. After multiple attempts by the threat to steal a very valuable item from the sanctuary, the Guardians decide to use that to their advantage. A false version of the item is created, and it's loaded with explosive material that can be remotely detonated. The genuine item is taken somewhere else for safekeeping. I'm just so verklempt I can't. And the duplicate is set up in its place. The Guardians don't need to wait for long, as the threat makes their way into the sanctuary within days, heading directly towards where the decoy is waiting. Becca, I know! Oh my god!
Well,
the cards, no, they listened. They were like, oh, you wanted this to be a poignant? You rolled a 5? Hell yeah, we failed. Oh, what a time. Oh, what a great time this is. The threat reaches the decoy, but hesitates in taking it. How are they able to tell that it's a fake? It's because they know. It's because they know. Because they know because of us.
And you know, I think it's that, and then the tree is organic, but the threat can, because the murmur
because they were part
power.
Well, because they were part of the they were part of the symbiotic ecosystem for so long that they kind of got a vibe. Yeah,
they can tell it's inorganic, posing as organic.
Great. Good. Rather than taking it with them, they dismantle the decoy. You can just do that because they're robots.
Yeah.
And reveal the explosive materials hidden inside. The threat is able to rework the trap, setting it to go off in a short period of time. They then flee the sanctuary, making sure they are a safe distance away before the trap goes off. What is destroyed in the blast? Is anyone injured? Will the Guardians attempt to set a trap like this in spite of this failure? What is destroyed? Well, it's gotta be the real tree.
I mean, yeah, it could be the real tree, or it could be, well, if they move the real tree to somewhere else, it could be like the archives. It could be like the
everything else.
Everything else.
This entire room is just gone. It just is
like
gone.
all of the history of this planet is gone. Except for what's like in their brains.
I'm just gonna go in here now. I'm just gonna be now I'm sad and I can't see.
The forgetting is real.
I don't think anyone's injured.
No.
I don't think anybody's
so.
injured because I think it's worse if everybody is fine. But
It's worse that no
all
one
of their
was injured.
history.
Yeah. No, they get to remember. History is injured. You're correct.
History is injured.
I'm injured. Meghan and I are injured, and everyone else
injured.
here. We're all in pain now. Okay. I don't think the Guardians are ever going to set a trap like this in the future. I don't think they're... No. 100% no. Oh, God. Y'all, literally just taking this stack of cards off of here made me sad. Like, that made me sad.
Oh.
Oh, jeez.
All
Great.
right.
I'm glad that we made it so impactful so that it hurts. Yikes.
So now it's time for the last stand. So the last stand so the fate of the Guardians has been sealed. They cannot survive the final stand against the threat. And by the time the confrontation is over, only one will remain. So mechanically, this works the same as the endgame of Sentinel does. You roll a d6, and depending on what you roll, depends on what the ending is like.
I just So I'm thinking about Sentinel now. Whoever survives is going to survive with this tree, and is going to be the only living thing that remembers any of this.
It sounds like you're going to have to go play Sentinel.
Oh no!
In this place.
Oh no! Oh no!
Oh, my heart she hurts.
Because all I'm imagining is this person sitting in the hidden space with a tree in their lap, slowly fading away, and the tree slowly dying, and now I'm just...
Wow. How dare you?
Listen, I reacted in a very particular way for a particular reason. Ugh!
Alright, well, let's see what the ending is.
Oh, jeez.
Thanks, I hate it. Alright, so that's a 6.
Alright.
So, it is not long into the battle that the Guardians understand the truth of the situation, that they will not all survive the assault. But they also know that with one more concentrated attack, they could push the threat back, possibly forever. This attack will come at a steep cost, one that will leave the Sanctuary without protectors, which they cannot allow to happen. One Guardian is chosen to stay behind to be the sole survivor and the Sanctuary's lone protector in case another threat rises again. Who is chosen and why? Do they fight this decision or accept it? What is the last thing they say to their fellow Guardians before they leave to make the ultimate sacrifice?
Oh, but this is the saddest one!
Yeah, it really is.
I fucking hate goodbyes. Because, like, all I imagine is the one Guardian being given the tree and going into the hidden chamber to wait it out while everything else happens around them. Who could have done?
We're all trying to find the guy who did this.
Okay,
What's
the
this?
youngest.
The consequences of my game design.
It's the same. It's the one that spoke out. It's the youngest because they have the most to live. Like they will be able to cherish these memories the longest. Pretty sure the culprit is on Kickstarter. I think so. We can find them together. We can find them. We should find them and fund their game to really show them just how we
give
feel.
Give them what for.
Give them what for.
You too could be this sad.
You too could be this sad. Yeah, no, I think it's
Sentinel on Kickstarter.
I think it's the youngest, and I think that they are very against it, especially initially.
I think they want to fight. Like they are
100%.
yeah, I think they try to be like, pick somebody else. Like, I want to fight.
Yeah.
For sure.
I think the last thing they say to their fellow guardians.
Please let it be the same thing that I'm thinking of right now.
Is
I'm gonna,
you will
mind
not
melt.
be forgotten.
I was gonna say, I'll remember you.
Ah! Well.
It's the end of the game.
The sitting and staring into the middle distance, the simultaneous sitting and staring was...
Although it does say down here, if you aren't quite finished with your sanctuary and its lone guardian, their story can continue in the game Sentinel.
How badly I want to play it now. How badly and how sadly. Maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll do that on a stream soon. Maybe we'll do that.
On a one shot.
Oh
Wednesday?
no, the song that's playing right now is called Lonely Times, and I don't know if I can handle this right now.
Wow.
I don't
Dick
know.
move, universe.
Hey. You could stop now. The game stopped. You can stop now. Wow. Dang. What a good, who made this person who made this game should get like awards. Or a funded Kickstarter. You know, one of those things. Dang. Dang, Megan, you did that. You wrote that. Look at that. Look at all these good... Why not both? You know what? Why not both? You're right. You called me out. Why not both? Megan, I hope you're so goddamn proud of yourself. I hope you are. And if you're not, I'm gonna yell at you until some of it sits. You make such good games. And here's why. Because you don't just make the game. You give the best thing to people, which is exactly as much as they need to make their own story. You don't give too much and you don't give too little. And it truly is something to be said of a creator to be able to just get into that sweet spot that makes me, the player, feel like I'm making something brand new, and it's not bogged down by heavy mechanics. It's not bogged down. Nothing is ever taken away. That's huge. And you do it every single time. You goddamn genius. So be proud of yourself. Your Kickstarter is going to be amazing. You're incredible. Take that. So there. You made the game cry, and now I make you... I gotta go! A game's so good you'd buy it twice. Exactly.
That from James, who has historically bought my games multiple times by accident.
By accident or on purpose, because they are worth it. Maybe people just want to support you because you're making things that are important.
It doesn't sound right.
That doesn't sound... Well. So yeah, welcome to the display of not taking compliments well. I will shout them at you.
I know. This is cyberbullying.
I'll bully you into... Megan, I'll bully you into taking compliments.
Oh God,
to you, Megan.
Emphatic hand gestures camera.
Right? That's all that this is now. It's just... Take that. Take this.
I'll take that right to the bank.
Put it in your gob. Thank you for making a fantastic game. Yeah, it's like you weren't listen, if the game didn't make us cry, it was my personal duty to make you cry on my stream. Listen, the tears happen betwixt us.
Yes, that is true. Well, thank you for sharing this with me and for letting me on your channel to play this game.
Thanks for making such cool games that make me feel so many deep things. All of the things are felt. They're all so good. I think that's, to continue the compliment train, that's another thing that I think is, I feel like I talk about this every time I play one of your games. That's the thing that really resonates with me, is that it's much like, I'm going to compare you to someone that I know we both really appreciate, Spencer Stark. Just like with his game, Alice is Missing, it makes you feel so deeply, even though you're only doing it for a short amount of time. So that just doesn't happen. It doesn't just happen. Like the care that you have and the passion that you have for making games shows up in every single game that you make. Your signature is on everything, and I think that's why it resonates so hard with people, is because we feel that it means something. It means something to you, and so therefore it means something even more to us. And it's so easy for us to be blubbering messes afterwards, because there's a passion in it that does not exist in a lot of games. Thank you for making us make good games.
Thank you for playing them.
Play more of her games, everyone! One day, Meghan will say, you know what? I am great at this. One day it's gonna happen, friends, and we're all gonna witness it together. Thank you, Nightbot, for your perfect timing. Going back Meghan's Kickstarter, it is going to be live for the next 29 days. And it is almost halfway funded on day 1. So absolutely destroy that goal, everybody. Share it around. There's a pinned tweet on Meghan's Twitter. You can just share the link. Do it. Get it for your friends. Get it for you. Make yourself good, sad. And Sentinel is very, very good. It's like this, but you get to do it by yourself. And if you do the 1-2 combo of a Sanctuary Sentinel session, take breaks, drink water.
You gotta hydrate if you're gonna cry that much.
Yeah, you're gonna hydrate if you're gonna cry. It didn't work, but
hydrate to cry drink.
Yeah. But thank you all so incredibly much for being here, for showing up to see this incredible game. Oh, I wish I had, like, hang on.
Yes, hydrate to cry great.
To cry great! Thank you. You saved it. You absolutely saved it.
Yes. Thank you everyone for coming. This was wonderful.
Yay!
In the sad way that TTRPGs are wonderful even when they're very sad.
Yes, correct.
Because sadness, big sad emotions in a safe and consensual environment.
Safe sad.
Safe sad. Practice safe sad.
Practice safe sad.
TTRPGs, practice safe sad.
Yes. And do so using Meghan's games, because they are all very good for that. I am going to find somebody to toss us over to raid. And any any closing thoughts or anything from the wonderful creator meghanlynnFTW, whose Kickstarter is live right now?
Thank you all. You're all too nice to me.
That's a lie.
I appreciate.
Nice.
Thank you so much for the support. I am, if you haven't realized, very overwhelmed by all of the support, which is wonderful. So thank you. Please check the Kickstarter out. And yeah.
Yay.
Thank you.
We're gonna go raid Gila RPGs, he's playing Rune right now, the game that they made. So we're gonna go just share some indie ttrpg love. And I hope that they're still streaming because I just got an error on my side. But we're gonna go share some love. So go check out Rune, which is another fantastic game that you should go and buy.
Funding
as well.
right now on funding now on Kickstarter.
Yeah, there you go. Haha, 2 Kickstarters in one night, everybody. Have a fantastic night. Make sure go hug someone that you care about. Drink water.
Don't drink the nano water.
Don't drink the nano water. Don't do it. And remember that you will never be forgotten. So, have a fantastic night, everyone. We love you very much. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.
Is rating with a party of 11. Wow. Wow. What do we get? 5 and a 2. Hello, Happy Caster. Thank you so much for the raid. It's good to see you and your fine folks. I'm killing a giant. I'm in the process of killing a giant.